It's that time of year again up north. In the dead of winter, they come. Some of the few outsiders who visit are rolling in from the south. They're the only entertainment that comes this far north. One of the oldest tours in professional wrestling is back. The only show in town is about to begin. The story starts behind the homemade mask of a 19-year-old rookie.
Worried. Don't want to mess up. That's the only thing running through my head is mess up. It's just, for me, that's just, I can't mess up. I hate messing up. Wrestling it's life. If wrestling is my life. And that's as far as I can go with it. I mean, I try and come up with new things for wrestling. I try to, what if I do this? What if I can do this? I mean, I'm constantly thinking about wrestling.
The tour began a couple of days ago when wrestlers converged on Winnipeg from across North America.
What's happening?
Did you get hurt again?
Oh, I'm not getting hurt this time.
What? You
Man.
gotta keep your record.
Are we going to that town?
Next week.
Ah.
Crash has brought Roberto in from Saskatchewan. He's his teacher and mentor. Roberto is one of Crash's most dedicated students. He's earned this chance.
I work at a fast food place. I work at Taco Time. And to get on this tour, I threatened to quit if they didn't give me the 3 weeks off to come on this tour. And I would have quit. If they hadn't given me off, I would have quit. There's no way I'm going to pass up an opportunity like this.
It's Roberto's first time doing anything like this. But he's not alone. Jen and Jane are best friends all the way from Portland, Oregon. Their trainer got them on the tour.
I have no idea what's going on.
Actually, I've only been wrestling for about a month. A couple matches, and so I'm very lucky to be here, and my friend and I, actually, my friend and I and Griffin are the only 3 girls.
That was so nice.
Headlining already.
Yep.
My dreams are just that people will know who I am. That they'll be like, oh, I know her. And so just that people will be able to go like, I know her, she's an awesome person. She's energetic, she's insane. She beat the crap out of me,
Inside, a wrestling legend is still scrambling to put together what's become known as the world's toughest wrestling tour.
Oh, I understand, Bob. My point is this, that I'm leaving right now from Winnipeg, which is 11 o'clock. So I will hope that when we get there, there'll be somebody at the school. You know what I'm saying? To get in.
Well, I hope so. It will go all right. I've seen the worst of the worst. What do you think I'm smoking so much? You think it's a habit? It's a necessity, I'll tell you.
They're traveling 20 hours north to a place where Europeans never settled, where the English language is second to Cree and Ojibwe.
We're gonna die. We're here in wintry Manitoba, and we're gonna die. This is the last road we're ever gonna see, because we're all dead.
No.
That's my promo right there.
What's gonna happen? We're gonna get shot by the natives.
tour is famous for being a test for young wrestlers. That's why they're here.
And that means north. Here's where the fun begins.
They travel through the night, across the Great Plains and into the immense northern forest of Canada.
It's a great experience. It's like something that most people will never see. There's like tons of guys that would love to come on this, just because they're so famous. Like, just so many big names have been through here. You know, worked with Tony and that. So I mean, just for that reason alone, people want to come.
I would love to make it into like the WWE, but if I don't make it, you know, oh well. What I want to be known is I want to be known out throughout the indie circuit, because there's not very, well, there's a couple women who can be named, you know. I want to be one of them.
My dad kind of left us 2 weeks before Christmas a year ago, or 2 years ago. He left, and I got a hold of Crash Crimson, and I just started training. I started training right away. Went to one of his mini camps.
Just lay across my shoulders. And then we go. Okay. Okay? Okay.
I stayed in Oregon most of my life. Took like one trip out of state to California and Nevada. Came back to Oregon, Washington, a little bit of Canada. That's all I've ever been.
Jane describes her upbringing as religious and somewhat sheltered.
You know what? I don't think that most people understand how isolated and how different. This is like a bunch of guys going to Venus and touring around. You're just lost. It is just so different up here. I mean, it's like a completely different world. I mean, like the roads they're not roads, they're paths through the bush. I mean, with some snow pushed out of the way. There's no ambulances or anything around here. Nothing.
25 years ago, Tony was already up north at what he thought was the end of the road when someone pointed out a trail into the woods. It was a route Tony swore he had never seen before. You see, most of the year, the road doesn't exist. It's simply swamp and water. Tony has to wait for everything to freeze, and then a path slowly emerges. When the frozen marshes are connected to the ice-covered lakes, Tony hits the road north. He hasn't missed a year yet.
Ain't danger there, you see that? See that spot? For real. Whoa.
Not exactly the most confidence-inducing situation.
The ice is made thicker by flooding it over and over again. That way it can support not just a bunch of wrestlers, but the transport trucks, which bring in a year's worth of supplies before the road melts. At the end of the road, Tony finds what he's looking for.
I'm just afraid we're going to go out there, have a horrible match, and then these guys are going to be like, why did we bring these two chicks out here? They can't wrestle.
Just go over it in your mind and just relax. Just don't worry about it. You know, it's good to go over your match in your head in a nice quiet spot and then just relax.
Let's get a move over here. All done. Thank you.
It's like, you know, you have tests or whatever at school. You like study too hard, you forget stuff. So just don't worry about it.
The wrestling thing is also kind of, it's personal. Wrestling for me is personal because my dad always said that it was too stupid and wrestling was dumb and fake and, you know, it's ridiculous. And I always liked it, and there's always something I want to do. So doing wrestling is like, you know, it's a very personal accomplishment that I have semi-accomplished.
Against my family's, wishes. They told me it wasn't gonna go anywhere and that it's just kind of a joke. We decided that this is what we love and this is what we want to do. First time we got in that ring, it just felt like kind of for the first time we really belonged.
Yeah, it felt normal, which is not something I usually say because I'm definitely not the most normal person in the world, so. Oh, God.
Before Portland, Jen grew up in the Midwest and the Deep South. But it's the wrestling world she wants to call home.
This is crazy.
It's gonna be insane. And if any of them grabs me, I'm punching them. Seriously.
As you know, we're raising money for this kids here. That's what we're here. And that's why I believe we have a sellout house.
Big eyes.
Now, it's all we need is action because these people that came here, that's what they want to see. And I know you can do it.
Referee, please get the wrestlers out.
Oh, that's cool. They remember me, A lot of, I mean, it's not like we're on TV up here. We're not on TV every week like WWF. I come here once a year, and there was a kid. I was making a sandwich this morning. And walked by the room. Cruz. Wow, I wouldn't remember somebody I only saw once a year. I'd be like, who are you? But yeah, these kids remember. That's cool. It's a nice feeling. It is. It's good.
This seems to be one of the biggest events that comes up here for them. So they seem to partake in it and they enjoy it. They all love wrestling. This is a wrestling community and on top of hockey.
Awesome. Really good. They were really into it, really loud. It's good. You okay, bro?
Get screwed up so many times.
What did you screw up?
I gave it that side slam. Up on the elbow.
Yeah, the elbow was the only thing I can remember.
The rookies hope to earn respect from the veterans. Respect comes from being tough, and being tough means accepting pain.
You can bust some of it. Sorry for the stiff punches, too.
How do I fit in? That's a good question. I'm not too sure how I fit in. Very important. I want to be one of the boys, like one of the guys, like one of the... I just want to be able to, want to be easy to talk to.
If you don't belong, then it's really, if you love it, it's important, but if you belong and you love it, it's perfect. You can do it for your entire life.
I don't want to be the guy that gets outcasted because of the certain things that he says or doesn't do.
Come on.
So you're just gonna hit me in the back with that?
Yeah, and if I lose, you can hit me in the back.
Hit me in the back with it.
Oh, God. Why am I doing this?
I don't know.
I'm confused.
I don't know. It's always been my fear when I was a kid is that people will totally forget I'm around, and I guess it also has to do with me being in school and stuff that most time I didn't have very many friends. So I was like, if I was there, then nobody noticed, and if I wasn't there, evidently they didn't notice that either.
I was so being sarcastic. I know you were.
Oh, you lost.
What's this? All right?
Yeah, go ahead.
Couch in. Oh. Never lose.
It's hardly a good tender stick, man.
Oh, I lost again.
Oh.
Oh, God.
Do I lose again on that one?
Yep.
Yeah, okay.
Paper over rock.
You can see but that was big.
Oh!
I finally win.
Oh, no,
Oh,
dude.
I'm a lefty.
Preferably, I would rather be considered one of the boys than an individual, girl. I'm always so worried about not having anybody that likes me or people that act like they like me and don't really. So I feel like these people like me, I think. I hope.
I'm gonna hit you, you know. I'm not gonna hold back.
I wouldn't want you to hold back.
Oh!
Oh!
That's evil. That's a deal. That's a deal. Holy. I feel bad for laughing.
But it doesn't equals the you wanna keep playing?
I'll take another one of those. Oh my gosh.
Well, that I would do.
They don't know yet. No, I mean they're young and they got the stars in their eyes, just like I did when I was starting out. I thought, wow, this is going to be great. You know, I'll have girls left and right, and money coming out of my ass. And, it's going to be woo. And then next thing you know, you're sleeping on a gym floor. You know, there's no glory, you know. If you stick with it, you know, someday, you know, maybe. I'm still hoping. I've been around a long time. I'm still hoping to get a little piece of the cake, you know.
Took the wrong turn. Everything is white. Hey, is that what happens?
The next stop takes them deeper into the bush. Tony says that people back home simply don't believe him when he tells them it can take 15 hours to travel 300 kilometers. They don't believe what he sees here either.
I've seen places, they got no running water. No facility. No electricity someplace either. We turn around and we say, well, we're paying them. Turn the tables around. Let's pay you. We'll put you there. See, how would you feel?
I guess it's just kind of stepping back a bit, like in time, because I didn't think that many places were like that, where everything wasn't pretty modernized, you know.
We're a long way north, a long way. It's, you could just look at the prices of stuff that they have to send in here by truck, and then they fly it in the summer.
Jug of milk, $12.50, or $12.39 for 4 liters.
And a 1 pound of hamburger, $8.37 for a pound of hamburger. You know, it's just ridiculous. There's nothing out here, and not a thing out here. And that's why Tony always does well out here, because it's entertainment and they don't get it that often. So they take advantage of it.
Tony uses local radio and television stations to get the word out.
Okay. Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen. Tony Condello, all the way from Winnipeg, Manitoba, coming back to Wasagamok for another Norton tour that we usually do every year. I bring you the best there is in professional wrestling entertainment. If you recall back many years ago, we had Chris Jericho up here, Edge and Christian, and plus Rhino, Test, and whatever. Those are the names that were up here, let me tell you.
This is Tony Condello and his debauchery of the English language. You know what? I'm about sick of listening to you ramble on. Give me that microphone. You get out of here. Now you get yourself down to that school. You're gonna cheer me on. You know why? Look at me, because I'm the best thing you're ever going to see. I don't care what Condello says. I'm the man around here. You get your stuff together and you get down there. It's because I'm the man.
Yeah.
This tour is an opportunity to learn just what it takes to call themselves professionals.
2 to 250 total body stitches. Both knees operated on, broken ankles, broken nose 6 times, broken collarbone, torn bicep, both rotator cuffs.
I hurt my knee a while back. It set me back a few months because everybody was learning all this new stuff and I was just sitting on the sidelines watching.
Now nip up. Take the arm. Boom. Nip
A
up.
couple people that can do a bunch of stuff and they've only been wrestling for like 4 months. And I've been wrestling for a year and I still don't know some of that stuff.
Duck the clothesline. Arm drag.
That's run out? Okay.
Jen and Jane get a lesson from one of the most respected wrestlers in the business.
Like I want to learn more. I want to get better, and it's hard when I feel like I'm the one kind of teaching a little bit more than not, you know.
Many people Chi-Chi has helped in the past have made it. He wants a shot too.
Well, it's what I base my whole life on, and I've sacrificed everything for it. I want it. I can't imagine not getting it at some point. I don't know. I just can't see. To me, I've never thought that it wasn't going to happen. I just want that chance, you know, that opportunity to see if I can, because I'm positive I can. I know I can push myself to do it. And
They travel for hours, day after day. When they show up, half the time nobody knows they're coming. Despite chronic housing shortages, the people give them their best. Usually it's a gym floor. And once, they even got a fishing lodge.
They're just spoiling them, that's all they're doing. Let them sleep on the floor. Let them eat craft dinner. Come.
And Tony, he's always promoting.
Welcome one more time in Garden Hill.
That's right. I come up here every year and I always have a good time. I always enjoy being here. It's a blast. Have a great time. But now this year, I'm the heavyweight champion and I'm facing the #1 contender, Eric the Lumberjack. Now he's #1 contender for a reason. The man's very tough. I've got my work cut out for me, but I'm going to do it. I'm going to defend this title. I'm going to do it for you people. Come on, Raffi's got the hand.
Sometimes it works, and the whole town shows up. And sometimes it doesn't.
Absolutely nobody's here. They didn't advertise it, apparently, the guys are saying. Apparently, we might not have a show tonight.
Can't get into the radio station, for one thing. Can't find the guy with the key.
Show's supposed to start in half an hour. And what we have here is 3 fans.
Killed this town.
1, 2, 3, 4,
Told
5,
Tony
6,
not
7, 8.
for me to book me on that.
Look at Tony. Get Tony on camera.
He's thinking of the thousands.
He's thinking of ways to kill himself.
Come on! Let's go!
This is probably the worst trip that they could do on their first set of matches, because it'll either make them or break them. It'll put bitter memories or fond memories in their heads.
Dude, you gotta stop slamming people on their side.
Sorry, yeah, I think it's because you're a bit heavier for me.
That hurts.
Sorry, bro.
Simple little match trying to do nothing. I get hurt.
The tour is just past the halfway point, and the novelty is wearing off.
stopping and going, and then we get here like at 3 o'clock in the morning, and then we sleep for a little bit, and by the time we wake up, we got to do a show. We go to sleep and wake up and do another show. It's just, there's no real time for actual rest.
Just when they're getting used to driving on lakes.
What happened?
Grader went through.
A grader went through.
Well, there's a sign, road's closed.
Road's
Well, you just put 'em up.
Gotta stick to the left. On the right-hand side, apparently, is very soft or something went through.
They decide to press on.
If something went through the ice, won't that mean that the ice around it's all cracked and not good too? Road closed for a reason.
Water on the ice, it doesn't look good.
Each year, there's always an accident, people going through the ice, and some of them make it and some of them don't.
You hear the grunts and the moans when they're hitting the bumps. It's hilarious. They're starting to walk like zombies because their back is so screwed up.
So how's volleyball now? For the most part, it's doing pretty good. I mean, my back's hurting and my knees hurting a little bit, but other than that, it's all right. My back's really hurting, actually.
Disaster. Yeah, somebody died across the river.
Everybody mourns, everything. The whole town shuts down. Everyone mourns, and it's just out of respect, I guess. That's basically the way it is. Every town, I've had it before where there's been 3 deaths on a tour and canceled 3 shows.
The wrestlers get paid by the show. If it's canceled, they don't get paid.
It's hard. It's really, really hard. I mean, I try and pray Crash Crimson. He trains me. I try to pay him as much as I can, like as soon as I can, because I just want to be able to get that done with. But I mean, I got to pay like $400 rent for my mom, and my sisters. I help my sisters out as much as I can. So I mean, me and money I barely see any money just because I mean, if helping my mom means not having wrestling or having money to pay for training, then of course I'm going to do that. I mean, I'm not going to leave my mom in the ditch.
But if they have aspirations of hitting the big times, this is just paying your dues. Lots of guys have paid their dues. Christian, Edge, Jericho, Lance Storm. I was on the trip with all those guys. And then they'd come up here and just be fascinated. Now they're riding in limos.
Oh, look at that! I think it's absolutely beautiful. Holy cow!
Would you ever move up here?
I don't know. It depends. If we have running water, then yeah. No, if not, screw it. I'll go back to the city.
This is the federal government's plan of how they're providing service to the community. They built here on our community some $2.5 million water treatment plant, and no houses hook up to it.
I got a call from there telling me that the school has been closed for the last 2 months. It's got mold all over it.
Tony struggles to work his magic and keep the tour together.
Somebody there now? Okay. I want you to say hello to the good people in God's River.
Hello, good people of God's River.
Come right here with those cameras. Come right here. Come a good shot. This is going to be the dressing room.
Nice.
right there. Hurts like a bitch. But you gotta suck it up, I guess. You can't really not go out there and wrestle just because you're in a little bit of pain. That'll kind of defeat the purpose, I think.
Very, very poor. This place should be packed by now. It's the worst tour. I've been on this tour 16 years, and this has been the worst so far.
Right, so you have your hand on him so you can... Yeah, and
He's gonna move. If I don't move, he'll go, what? Bang.
And he's gonna go to hit you, and you...
I thought he was gonna hit him.
Then you give me a stunner. Then I go into the corner.
That's all I did.
Yeah.
Where's that cat?
That's why they don't stay down. You do not get the full impact of the stunner. But of course, that's when Cruz comes along and finished them off, really.
Tony had the Stone Age stunner. It was amazing.
I thought my leg was busted. And then she catches me straight with her knee. How do you catch a knee during a Issaguri? It was literally her back.
Concussions, yes. At least 10 of them, at least. Yeah. But I'm still very coherent. I still have my wits about me. Sometimes I don't know where I am, what town, especially up north, but still very coherent.
This is nice. I got ice pack.
When he threw me into the chairs, it was my choice to go into the chairs and then into the wall or into the bench. It was my choice to go into it like that. He threw me in and I knew instantly that my back was fucked, like right away. And I don't know how I got through the match. I knew what I was getting myself into. Crash told me what I was getting myself into. This is what wrestling is.
I know they're trying their best, which I did notice that. But that, if the guy's really hurt, I cannot put him in that ring.
The next stop is the last one, and it's more than 30 hours away. Roberto has refused even Tylenol for his pain. Crash has warned him about taking pills.
We did one Northern Road tour. We did like 21 and a half hours in a van, non-stop, to get to the next show. And my friend at the time, he had drool all over him, and he wasn't sleeping. He was like passed out because of the drugs. And that's not me. I'd rather suffer through the pain, and I think I appreciate it more. I appreciate what I earn more.
So far on the tour, they've driven more than 80 hours, and this is their last stop. They've come a day early. For Roberto, it's a chance to rest his back. For the veterans, it's a chance to get out and stretch their legs.
This is the payoff right here, right now. This is our payoff. We don't really make that much money coming up here. This is better than the payoff.
just to show you guys our community and show you guys how we are back home here in isolated reservation. This is how we live over here in the north, isolated reserve. Yeah, it's awesome.
I just wonder how different these people must like feel when they see us. I mean, because I mean we do. I mean, a lot of us are dressing different than what I've seen, you know, and probably no one up here has anything like my piercings or my tattoos or hair color. And I just kind of wonder what they think when they see us. You know, is it just like a circus event, or is it something they're actually enjoying watching? You know.
Well, my language is number one. You know, it's mean a lot to me. I'm lucky I speak the language.
It's called like a walleye, right? Walleye?
Yeah, it's called the walleye. In the language we say ogans. Yeah.
Ogans?
Yeah, ogans.
Ogans.
Yeah. Maybe if it wasn't this reserve, if it wasn't isolated, I don't think we would even have our language either. You know, so that's. Maybe this is a good sign that our reservation's isolated, so we're not accessible to the roads or to go to the city, you know.
Oh! Don't go back!
Hey, buddy. Welcome to the great above.
Awesome day, man. This is best day of the tour, by far. Best day of any tour I've had up here.
Look at you.
While some are enjoying the camaraderie of the road, Roberto is trying to hide his pain from the others. He's thinking about all he's learned.
You know, he asked me, have you ever had your back hurt? And when I was 23, my chiropractor told me I wouldn't be able to walk by the time I'm 40. I'll still be walking, I'll still be running.
I've gone, looked Tony square in the eye and said, Tony, I'm not hurt. And was completely, I knew I was hurt and could barely move.
They try to the last urge of putting their soul into it and not realizing actually they're really, really hurt.
I was in traction for about 3 weeks, 2.5 weeks with a broken neck.
And I couldn't move anything. And I thought like, oh, jeez. And I actually kind of chuckled, but I was scared. I mean,
there's lots of people who get injured and keep going. And if he were to stop, he might be looked poorly upon. So I would, if it was up to me, I'd tell him to wrestle.
Jen has gained respect. She's eager to learn and is getting better.
Don't stop me from that.
When you go to do it, you want to try and hit him.
Yeah, no, I'll do a good one there. Now, you gotta hear. How?
Tomorrow it'll be 2 weeks since I've been home. Actually, I don't want this tour to end because I've made some friends, and I don't like leaving friends behind, and I know I'm going to have to. So I've got to keep in touch with all these guys because they're the simply coolest people on the entire planet. Well, I've never felt like I fit in anywhere except for here because everybody's extremely weird or unique in this, and I feel like I just fit right in with them. So.
How does that feel to say?
It feels excellent to say that.
It's going good.
That last one was good.
Roberto has made his decision. He's about to lie to Tony and insist he's healthy.
Kind of worried about getting really injured and really hurt. But like was said before, I don't want to cop out or punk out, because that's what it comes down to. You may not see it like that, but that's what it is. I mean, that's what it all comes down to. I mean, that's just how it is. That's just how it works. I'm not trying to make you see it from I'm like, you know what I mean? I'm not trying to, I don't care. If you see it, that's the way you see it. I care the way Tony sees it. And if Tony's gonna see it, is the kid got hurt and he doesn't want to wrestle anymore. And Cheech has a bad back. He's still wrestling.
Yeah. Go last time, go. Come on, 10, 9,
I was paralyzed for like a minute or whatever it was. Couldn't feel my arms or legs. I thought, I'm done. Game over. What a stupid way to go out with a dumb little screw up. You know, and it's not just an injury. I'm done for life. And then next thing you know, I just stubborn, got my feeling back, got up, walked out. And then when I sat down in the back, I couldn't get up. The ambulance had to come and get me. But I got back in the ring 1 week later. I mean, there's just no way around it. Like, you get in this business and stick with it for a while, you're getting some kind of injury. And, you know, the tough guys that can go somewhere know how to deal with it, accept it, work through it, heal it up, get back in there.
Yeah, you got to really hold tight. You can pull harder, too.
I took the shots instead of him.
You know what they say, hang up the boots? Well, I didn't want to go in that ring, but the only way you go in that ring when you're in shape, and I'm not.
I know that when he told Tony that he was fine and that he was able to work, I know he was lying.
People are there, they paid a good price to see you, or whatever the person might be. That's what I'm saying. The show must go on. Yeah, crazy business.
He can't go on like this. There's got to be a point where he knows that he won't be wrestling if he doesn't stop for a little while.
I've seen the best of the best get really hurt or even died. Why do you do it? Well, it's another question. Why do you do anything?
What's your greatest fear for tonight's match?
Permanent injury.
He didn't whine and say, you know, oh no, I hurt myself and I better not wrestle. I mean, you're not going to get ahead like that. And that's what I always did, and that's what he did. He sucked it up, and he got in there and he did it, and he should be proud of himself. I mean, he showed his heart, you know. He pulled it off. He sucked it up and he did it, and I think that's good. You know, he's got enough drive and determination that he wants to make it, that he's not going to look like, you know, he can't take it, that he's not tough enough.
don't feel sorry for him. There's nothing to feel sorry about. See, I don't see it as I hurt my back. I see it as I got to wrestle Leatherface. That's cool, dude.
Relax, relax, relax. Whoa!